saying that women should have to explain, rationalize, or justify their decisions when it comes to their body, when it comes to dating, and then resorting to name calling is psychologically abusive. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I had done several videos now on the conversation about women need to unpack their bias when it comes to their sexual partners because it's rooted in biphobia and homophobia. And I even think that the way that this topic is originally phrased and poised, and by the creator that poised it, was psychologically abusive and aggressive. The shock and draw and awe of the being labeled as a phobic is meant to be aggressive towards women. It is meant to be demanding that women go and unpack their biases when it comes to dating and preferences and even sexual access. When the reality is you don't owe a person an explanation for anything. If you're a grown adult, you pay your own bills. Who is some random person on the internet to ask you to even do those things? Now, if you go to therapy, you feel like you have some fears and biases or some things that are causing you to be stuck and it's getting in your way, have at it, but that's your personal choice. That's your right to do that. But as this commenter says, she says, they said coercive control through shame, aggression, and playing the victim. They are trying to hoard resources, women. And it's resorting to, again, verbal aggression, psychological aggression, and hostility towards women. Women don't need to be such a safe place, a safe space for everybody. You need to guard that, and people need to earn the right to have privilege to what you have to offer. You no longer need to be empathetic and caring. People are taking advantage of that. And this is how aggression works. This is how manipulation works. It's like, oh, there is an attack on women right now. And, I haven't responded too much to men hopping in the comments and saying, well, it's discrimination. And what about when women say that men are being colorist, or when men don't want to date single mothers? All of these arguments, all of these statements are being led by women. The accusation that women are homophobic or biphobic if they don't want to date bisexual men. The accusation that, or the statements, on all of these podcasts and all these television programs and these dating shows. We don't want women with high body counts. We don't want women who are single mothers. Or if I prefer to date white, then women should stop coming for men. It's reverse is Darvo in its finest form. It is putting men in the place of the victim when men are the ones who are leading the conversation. At least from what I have seen, these podcasts, these coaches, these people started this conversation years ago, and women have gone on the offense, trying to defend or trying to have a conversation or trying to understand. I don't think you need to do that. I honestly don't think you need to respond to any of that. Stop trying to help people that are, they don't understand, or they want to say, well, this is that, and that is this. It's the same thing. Women and men do not date the same. Women and men are not speaking the same. Even in this conversation, Men have the power in the dynamic of the conversation, and they know that, and they're trying to physically, psychologically, verbally aggress women, and it's very quickly turned into, um, you know, almost like, well, if you don't consent, then I'm going to do what I want to do, and it points back to a lack of respect and personal safety to women. It's like, well, I'm just going to lie. You don't know if I am or I'm not. That shows that you lack yourself. You lack respect for yourself, and you lack respect for your partner if you're not going to be open and honest and have a conversation with them, and you're not willing to respect their boundaries. So the whole argument is women are this, women should do this, and I don't want to hear any objection. When the reality is, as a straight woman, as a heterosexual woman, and just being around other straight and heterosexual women, the topic of sex doesn't genuinely come up. We don't walk around talking about we ain't gonna do this and we ain't gonna do that. Now, I might do some social media posts just as a general theme of what I've worked with over the years, but as a general thing, I don't go out with my friends talking about that. I don't know of other women who go out with their friends having that as a table topic. For straight heterosexual women, they just make their choices, they date whomever, and their life is their life, private, end of question. So when this conversation comes up about how straight women need to do this, heterosexual women need to do that, it's coming from a place, that conversation is coming from a place of vitriol. I would really encourage women to think twice about engaging with that, especially when you have people, especially when you have men that are trying to compare themselves to you. Men are not women, and vice versa. We're not dating the same, generally speaking. Of course, there's some exceptions, but generally speaking, men and women do not date the same. And so there is a fine line where they're trying to slip in behaviors that are unacceptable and that are aggressive, and trying to use that to counter your personal rights. They're not questions that are led with thoughtfulness and trying to, you know, really have a thoughtful conversation. It is immediately, well, I'm the victim. If you have this, then I'm a victim too, because women are ganging up on me, and they're, it kind of goes down that when, that's not what's happening, first of all. Second of all, this is a totally different discussion, and you're trying to redirect the attention or excuse behaviors where you're becoming a little bit aggressive, or you're trying to just sort of play yourself as a victim and get sympathy and attention. And, so just, my advice is to be careful with catering to that. That is a very skilled manipulation tactic, is to be willfully obtuse, right? And to not understand or just try to compare what they're going through to this conversation at hand and your personal rights to your body. That's a totally different conversation. So, and it's being led differently. All of these conversations are being started by men. So that is the trend. And this isn't a man-hating post or anything like that. That is just what my observations are in watching this on social media, and just from what I've seen. Your body should be non-negotiable. Conversation around that should be non-negotiable. You certainly don't owe a stranger, even myself, right? You don't owe a stranger any sort of explanation for what you choose to do with your body. Hope that helps. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment, like, share, and follow. Thanks so much. Take care.